All right, we are live. Welcome, welcome. I'm going to wait a few minutes here, just a few minutes. Want to welcome our guests, our friends, our community members, our soldiers. I am your host, Santos Jr. Welcome to another live, interactive, mind optimizing, spirit refreshing. Gambling is a lie. I must remind you. Refreshing solution finding community gathering. I am your coach. Once again, I'm your host, Coach Santos, here out of Stockton, California. Excited to be here over the next few minutes. We're gonna talk about the challenge. Do you know what a challenge really is and why you need challenges? We all need them. Hopefully, Jim will meet us tonight here. Maybe he'll be around. If not, let me see. We are live. But we're going to be talking about why do you need challenge? We're started. So make sure that you turn down all distractions, put your seatbelt on nice and tight, and you're going for a ride, you strap that seatbelt, lock the door, you turn down all distractions, and you get ready to focus. Focus. We are in the zone. Hey, Jim, welcome. Welcome, Jim. It looks like me and you are the only ones here. And let me turn down this. We're going to get you on here. There's a few things that I want to do. There's a proverb that I want to read. And there was something that I wanted to read out of the 15-minute morning's Breakfast of Champions. We're going to be talking about challenges. Why the need for challenges? Why do you need challenges? And is it true that we yearn and think about desires even unknowingly? Is that true? That we yearn, we desire, we seek challenges unknowingly? You don't even realize that this is going on inside of you. Wow. All right. Hey, Laura, welcome. Welcome, Laura. Good to see you. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you on the other side. Let me go ahead and make sure that everything is good here. All right. I gotta get a better music system for this program. Anyhow, yes. One thing that I wanted to do is I want to read the proverb here, but I want to bring a page up here. Let's see if I can share the screen. Yes, I can. Chrome or window. Let's see, Chrome tab. There we go. This is what I wanted to bring in here. Now, let me see if I can expand this just a little bit because I want us to understand something about the word challenge. And by the way, gambling is a lie. Every once in a while, I get distracted and I forget to remind you. So don't bust my chops, okay? I'm just kidding. So can you see my screen? Hopefully you can see my screen here. It's pretty big. Let me see what it looks like on StreamYard. Ooh, it's pretty big. Yeah, there we go. Let me shrink myself here a little bit. Let's see, can I do that? Can I bring it bigger? No, don't want that one. There we go. Let me bring myself. Or actually, let me just disappear myself here for just a moment. A call to action. A call to take part in a contest or competition, especially a duel. That's kind of interesting right there, a duel. This word is a noun, whatever that means. But it's a call to take part in a contest or competition, especially a duel. It kind of reminds you of, one-on-one fighting, maybe boxing or what's that one, the sword, right? The two men go at it with the swords, a duel. That's what kind of it reminds me. But who is the challenge really? Who is the duel against? Think about that. Why is a challenge so important for you? And who is the dual? What is the secondary object or the secondary person, if you will, in the challenge? An objection or query asks the truth of something, often with an implicit demand for proof. Yeah, you challenge something, you challenge somebody, a challenge to the legality of the order. A verb, invite someone to engage in a contest. He challenged one of my men to a duel. All right. So it's kind of interesting when you look at the word challenge, because a lot of times, again, I say this often, your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. When was the last time that you read up on the word challenge, or you did a little bit of study? When was the last time that you actually did that? This is a good refresher, because you got to ask yourself the question, do I need challenges? Am I avoiding challenges? Are you avoiding challenges? All right. I'm going to leave the page up. Put myself back on the screen here. Get that little page. And there we go. And hey, welcome, Mark. Mark's here. Welcome. Keith, welcome. Good to see you, friend. Hello, everyone. Grace. And by the way, we're broadcasting live via Facebook and LinkedIn. So shout out to LinkedIn. And I can't do TikTok because TikTok doesn't have a platform on, or do they? They may have a platform that I could probably go. Well, I don't know. I'll have to look at that at another time. Race, welcome, my friend. Good to see you here. Hello. Yeah, I'm a bit late. Got 2 sales and a mobile phone sold. Right on. I just bought. Hey, I could have purchased a mobile phone. I just bought one on. Well, I didn't pay for it. Monthly installments. Yeah, some better camera action. Anyhow, man, these are not phones, by the way. These are handheld, or what we call a palm computer. A cell phone, if you remember a cell phone, it was like this big and you had to hold it like almost with 2 hands. That's a cell phone. These are computers, my friend. You have a palm. That's why when we put GABA together, I'm really excited about this. When we put GABA together in this thing, man, it's going to go worldwide. And problem gamblers will have at least, I would say, about a 90% higher fighting chance to win over gambling in the privacy of their own space. How do you like me now? All right, let me get into the proverb here. Laura, let me see. Laura says, I'm getting that book. Right on. Support the mission. By the way, you can get this copy of this little book. It's an easy read. Come on now. Did I forget to tell you that gambling's a lie? It's an easy read. Very easy. Let me just pick something here. All right. Boy, journaling seems to be the thing, right? Would it be worth it to call yourself to account every once in a while? Yes, it certainly would. Keeping a journal can be one of your best superpowers. Are you lacking superpower? Do you believe that you have superpower? Certainly would. Keeping a journal can be one of your best superpowers. If you don't have a journal, you should get one. Anyways, that was good. Let me get into the proverb here. We're going to have a really good program. It's going to go by very quick. We're going to bring Jim on in a little bit here. He's going to talk about challenge, and we're going to challenge you. In fact, on TikTok, I did a 7-day challenge about a month ago. For the 7 days, I issued one short video. It was like 20 seconds. And it started, day 1, day 2, day 3, all the way to day 7. I picked my own little challenge, and I challenged the audience to pick one thing over the next 7 days. I just started that. Today's day number 2. So I just reset the 7-day challenge on TikTok. One thing, you pick one thing that you want, whatever it is. You got to understand what a challenge is, right? Most people don't even understand what a challenge is. So you got to have one thing within the 7-day challenge that you are either going to complete, break through, build, write, cry, visit, whatever, say, whatever it is. It might be for you to come on camera. So over the next 7 days, you pick a challenge. And that's what this program is about today. It's about challenge. It's about growing. And, what does a challenge mean to you? And why is it that we need them? Why do we have them? I'm going to be reading from the law book here in a little bit, and then the other law book, and see if we can make some sense. There's a lot of information out there, but we have to make it personal. You have to make personal. In other words, a challenge to me might mean something a little bit slightly different than what it means to you. You have to get that in your spirit, and you kind of got to get it locked and loaded. Because if you don't, what happens if you don't have, the FTs? Remember, I hope you guys are paying attention. That's why I say get in, put your seatbelt on, turn down all distractions. Do you know what an FT is? No, it's not a flying tech, okay? Or an LB, right? What is an LB? A limiting belief. LBs, and you get them all the time. They stop you most of the time, or some of the time. What is the FT? A focus thief. It gets in the way. It'll distract you, and then you become a procrastinator. So, good to see all of you guys. We'll bring in, hey, Ankar, welcome. Good to see you here. And The Rock from Brockton kind of reminds me of wrestling. All right. The proverb of the day, because it is Sunday. The fear of man bringeth a snare, but this is Proverbs 29:25 out of the Old Testament. The fear of man bringeth a snare, but whoso putteth his trust in the Lord shall be safe. Whoso putteth his trust. Where is your trust today? I have to constantly remind myself, again, your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. Is that true? I remember making that statement up, and I love saying that. Your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. Why do you think we come here every Sunday? So you guys can see my pretty face? I don't think so. We come here to be reminded of something that we need to be doing, or something that we need to be doing, or something that we need to continue to do. You started something. You're here, and we are a community to remind. Hopefully there'll be more others that come. So that is the proverb of the day. So a question for you. Is it true that we yearn? Is it true that we think about, even desires, desire, challenge, or we even desire challenges unknowingly? Is that true? That deep inside yourself, you're seeking a challenge, but you don't really know it. Most people don't know it. Do you know it? Is it true? Let me see that we get Mark. I think we got everybody. Okay, everyone's here. Good. Right on. We're going to bring Jim on in a little bit because time is going to go by very quickly. But here's just some observations. Now, again, I don't claim to have I believe the word of God is truth. Do I have truth in my life? I believe I have some truth, but there can also be subjective, right? Truth can be subjective in your life also. So we have to look at all of this information and decipher whether it's something worth engaging in, talking about, bringing into our lives. But here's one of the reasons why I believe, I kind of believe this has some good sense. The 7 human evolutionary laws. Okay, I'm gonna what is it? Death by PowerPoint. No, I'm just kidding. There's no death by PowerPoint. Gambling is a lie, though. Right? Every once in a while, I forget to say that. I get distracted, and don't bust my chops, please. But gambling is a lie. All right, the 7 human evolutionary needs. Every human being in this world will strive to meet those 7 human evolutionary needs. They are essentially hardwired, I believe, by the Creator. into us, which means they are something we strive to achieve subconsciously. We may not even be aware that we really need these things, and we fight against what we really need. We fight against what is proper for us. We tend to find ourselves fighting against those things. Eventually we end up with a broken leg or some tragedy or something like that, and we end up on our back. And when you're on your back, it's really easy to read, right? When you're on your back. But when you're not on your back, it's, you're out there doing whatever you're doing. You don't care about reading. You don't care about coming to a podcast. You know what I'm saying? When you're out there, everything's cool and dandy. You got plenty of money. You know what I'm saying? Gambling's a lie. And you're out there, you're at the pit. But what happens when your money runs out? What happens when you're laying in bed and you can't sleep and you're looking up towards the ceiling? Yeah, you tend to read a little bit. At least you make an effort. I did. Anyways, seven human evolutionary needs. So you're trying to achieve those needs, whether you realize it or not. And let me read a couple of these here. And the reason why, because they help us survive. The human body will automatically take on habits to survive and thrive. All creatures on this planet do everything in their power to survive. A fish in the sea will not just let itself die. Little fish, you've seen them, little fishes. The big shark comes around and they scatter, right? It will seek to mate. It will swim much faster away from predators. In order to create transformation, you have to be conscious and connect with our needs, with your needs. If we are not conscious in everything we do, we are subject to default, which means no growth, no progress, digression, depression, suicide. Those are the kinds of things. Let me see what Race has to say here. Suit. Was it? I made $200 potentially instead of going to the casino, losing everything again. Those are goals. There you go. You're facing your challenge. You're facing your challenge. So we're going to bring Jim on here in a little bit. We've gone 17 minutes into the program, but I really want you guys to think about this. Okay, I don't want to give so much answers here, but I want you to think about it. Is it true we yearn and think about desires? And what could a new challenge do for you? Let's say that challenge that you're facing, right? You're facing that challenge, but you haven't tackled it. You see it. It talks to you. And sometimes it yells at you. Sometimes it might even whisper just really softly, but you keep ignoring it. What if you took that challenge on? What would happen to your life? Where would it take you? Where would you end up? How would it help you? How would your challenge help you? How? You got to answer. You got to get your journal. You got to get your journal and write in there. If not, write on a piece of toilet paper or your skin. Could it be why one person so easily falls into the lie trap of grandeur? I'm going to say that again. Could it be why? Because we're lacking a challenge, right? We're seeking challenges, whether we realize it or not. But could it be why one person so easily falls into the lie? Your subconscious. We talk about habits, building bad habits, right? We have bad habits. We fall into the trap, the lie, the grandeur. What do you mean? Well, I'm going to win the lottery. I'm going to hit the lotto someday. I'm going to win big, man. I used to go into the casino thinking I was going to become a millionaire. I really did. I thought I was going to become a millionaire. I lost over $1 million is what happened to me. Right? Someday, Santos. S-O-M-E. Some. D-A-Y. Someday, Santos. I keep going to the casino. Well, you know that there's only Sunday. It's not, some people have it mixed up. They think that the word Sunday is Sunday, but it's not. There's different meaning, right? If you Sunday, you have Sunday, you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, that I remember, right? I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that. I could be possibly wrong, but I don't know Sunday. Let me see. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Sunday. Wait a minute. That's not right. That's not right because that's 8 days. But yet there's only 7 days. And isn't it? I could be wrong. That's how people think, isn't it? It seems kind of ludicrous. It seems kind of far-fetched, but it's the reality. All right, let me remove this. Actually, let me see if we can bring on, if Jim is still here, we'll bring him on. And Jim can share a little bit about let me see. I gotta Coach Jim. By the way, I'm in Stockton, California. I am the founder of the Soldiers of Self-Mastery movement here. Support this mission. Please support this mission if you feel supported in some way. And I'm not just talking about you here. You guys all support this mission. I really appreciate it. Ancar. But there might be somebody watching beyond the chat. There might be somebody there on Facebook or LinkedIn watching. And you're looking for something to read. You're looking for something that can help you with your mornings, turn you into a champion. You want to eat Breakfast of Champions. Breakfast of Champions, right here, Amazon. And of course, we have the new revised Little Red Book, which is to my there we go. The Little Red Book. This is what it used to look like. And at Amazon, right? Very simple. Santos Rolon, Amazon. And I will appreciate the support. They make good gifts. You got a rebellious son, you got something going on, you got a rebellious daughter, or I don't know if you want to send them a book. They might not read it, but you can always get one, buy one, keep one for yourself. These books are like gold. They've got like gold little nuggets. If you study these books, they're not like real books, like a novel. Or you got to study this thing. Just go over it, put notes, scratch stuff, even change my text if you need to, and put your own in there. That's what they're there for. Who knows? You can create your own book. All right. So let me see. We can bring there we go. I love working off commission. That's good. That's a good thing there. Any questions about addiction? Any questions about the challenge? Any questions about, do you have a question for you? If you don't want to ask it here, make sure that you use your journal. Take notes. By the way, this is episode number 175. See, I told you I get distracted, but oh, listen to that little girl downstairs. Oh, she is hot. This is episode 175. Hey, Jim, can you
Hello,
hear me?
Santos. Yes. How you doing?
Hey, great evening. Good to see you. Let me give you a 15-minute discourse here on the word challenge. No, I'm just kidding. You know what we're all about. We're talking about challenges and why we need them and why maybe we don't need a challenge. Some challenges we might need, right? And some we don't need.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I mean, like when you're talking about challenges, I was thinking about today. I started my exercise a little bit late, and it's kind of funny when I like put something off, you start getting these ideas of not doing stuff, and I was it was getting uncomfortable for me. The more I put it off, I looked at the neighborhood. The neighborhood was very still. The sun was shining, and I was thinking, it's like, I gotta, I gotta go, you know. and I did. So when you think about when you talk about challenges, I'm thinking about in challenges, it's actually like participating in life. When you're challenged, you're actually just participating in life. I mean, if you're not challenged, if you're not doing stuff in life, you're not living life really. And I think, the word challenge, I guess it's kind of like almost a negative connotation. It
Yeah.
it it like it builds a kind of a pressure upon us. Pain maybe, difficulty, you know, and I don't know if it's better to find a synonym for that word, to get us in a little bit more positive light for the word challenge. I mean, I think about the challenges that we have around us, like gravity, right?
Yeah.
Gravity. If we didn't have gravity, what would happen to our ability to be strong? I mean, weight. If we didn't have, weight to overcome, we'll be like, very weak, like the astronauts, right? When they go up in above the Earth and they're orbiting,
Yeah.
for a long period of time, they come down, they lost their strength, So actually, the weight, overcoming that weight, the challenge, makes people stronger, And if you don't have that challenge, you become weak, Really, you do become weak. So I mean,
Yeah.
a challenge really is something that is good because it makes you stronger. It makes you stronger. And
Well, how does it make you stronger? Or what is it exactly that it strengthens, Jim?
well, I mean, if a challenge is like, okay, you have an obstacle to overcome, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so you have an obstacle to overcome. Let's say gambling, right? Let's say a person, oh my gosh, I'm losing money. I can't pay my bills. My wife is, angry. My family, it's like, oh man, what, this is no good. It's like, okay, well, the challenge is to get yourself out of that awful habit, right? You know, and then you start making plans. You start coming up with ideas. You start reaching out for resources, right? You start concentrating. You start focusing. You start becoming more intentional, right? And you start putting things together, right? And you start taking action, right? Right? You feel the pain. You feel the, you feel that pain, I guess those cravings or desires, right? But you stay focused. You stay with the good people. You get coaching. You get counseling, right? You know, you have a goal. It's hard. It's difficult, but you fight through that day, that moment, right? Then you go through the next day and the next day. All of a sudden, you start winning, right? You start winning. It's like I'm becoming stronger. I'm beating this thing back. It's like, my God,
So,
you know?
so confidence. Confidence is a big factor in a result
Yeah, I mean, like
in
I
a
remember
challenge.
what, yeah, I remember what Jim Rohn said, Jim Rohn said, set a goal to become a millionaire, not for the $1 million, but for what it will make of you, right? To
Yeah.
achieve that goal, right? Set a goal, a worthy goal, a noble goal, because, it's not what's at the end, it's like what you become, right? It's all those, I mean, we talked about character, remember, last week. What happens to your character when you set out on,
Mm.
you know, going forth on pursuing a challenge, overcoming a challenge, you know? I mean, like, I mean, they're going to become sharper. They're going to become stronger. They're going to be becoming, working in unison to overcome that challenge. And hopefully, if you are addicted to whatever vice that's messing up your life, whether it be gambling or alcohol, drugs, overeating, whatever, you know, I mean, you know, think about what you become if you can take on this challenge. I mean, it really moves you up to the next level if you really focus on it, you know, and it just takes you to that next level. You start transcending. And I remember we were talking last week, and I think I said something about, character is a process of refining. You refine who you are, you know, if you start developing those character habits, you become a little bit better, a little bit sharper, a little bit more wise. You really start knowing who you are, what you value as you pursue developing your character. And that's a challenge too. You know, that's a challenge too.
It's a good challenge because we're deep inside. We're already, we're seeking challenges. And if you grow up in an environment that is not conducive for success, you don't understand these things. I didn't. I had no clue. We're seeking challenges, not even knowingly, and that could be one of the reasons. It could be one of the reasons why a person falls so easily into a trap of grandeur, because gambling is a challenge. Um, Gambling is if you go into the casino, it's a game of chance, but it's a challenge because you are up. It's like competition, and eventually you get. I mean, obviously, the competition that you want is to win money, right? You want to win money, but eventually it gets to the point where it doesn't matter whether you win money or not. You're there. You got to feed that habit, that drip, that the chemical drip that's being released, the dopamine that's being released. It needs to be kept up.
Yeah.
You
Um,
feel out of place. So one of the things that obviously you said confidence building. If you lack confidence, right? One thing that you want to obviously do is you want to find a challenge, look for one, and go from there. What happens after you overcome one challenge?
yeah. If you overcome one challenge, you can say, "Holy cow, I did it. What else can I do? What other things can I improve upon?" It's like, you know what? I didn't think I
Yeah,
could do this. It's like, my gosh, I was able to do it. What else can I do? What other
yep.
things can I accomplish? You know, what kind of person can I become? If you have that, then it just takes something very simple. If you challenge yourself, set a goal that you're going to do something that day. That's worthy, that's noble, that's something worthwhile that'll benefit you. You know, um,
And it's really interesting because challenges come in all kinds of forms. They could be loud, they could be quiet. We all hold these. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's like a dream, right? We all hold these little things that we think about, and you said confidence, right? And you gain that confidence, you win. You will probably. I may be wrong about this. You may go from one goal to the next one a lot easier, right? The next one will be a lot easier for you, and so on. And I'm not going to say it's a lot easier, but it's going to be more. You're gonna have the experience. So it may not be necessarily easier, but you'll have more experience and more confidence. It seems like things would be a little bit easier. These exercises that we do, right? Taking on a challenge is an exercise. You mentioned, you had something you wanted to do, walk, run, you know, do some ab crunches or whatever it was that you were planning to do, and
yeah.
there's a result there. That's a challenge. Obviously, you're after the result. I don't think you're after the challenge. You're probably after the result.
I think the challenge, when you accept and take on a challenge, it really moves you into developing your discipline, right? You can't overcome anything without some type of discipline, right? You have to have a disciplined mind, disciplined behavior. And the nice thing about this is that if you can just grind it out, right, and
When,
see
yeah,
some
when you grind it out.
success, right, guess what happens to your attitude with discipline? Discipline sounds like an ugly word, nasty word, like a very unpleasant word. Oh, you got to be disciplined, right? But
Yeah,
once you see the fruits of your labor, right, your disciplined activity, it's like, wow, you know, if I constantly, consistently take part in this, activity, I will eventually, you know, get to where I want to go. It's like that's all I have to do. I just need to just do it over and over again, and look at that. I accomplished it. So it's like, wow. So if I can do this, I can do that, you know? I mean, that's the confidence that you can go and get once you start taking action, right? And challenge yourself, you know, put a plan together and put it in motion, right?
a body in motion stays in motion. Movement begets movement, cause and effect. And I didn't. I used to run from challenges. I didn't know what they were. I used to run from them, and you have challenges within too, within outside challenges outside there. But you have challenges within, or could it be that the outside challenges are more or less an inside challenge?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, I think about that Greek philosopher Socrates, right? Socrates. He was punished to death, because he would keep on questioning truth. He would keep on asking the question why. He would keep on, pushing back on what was stated as so-called truth. you know and
Yeah.
I guess people didn't, the leaders didn't like him talking about this kind of stuff. But you see, that's the kind of stuff that we need to do with ourselves, to ask, you know why am I feeling this way? Why am I behaving this way?
Hmm.
I mean, how am I good to myself? What does that mean, being good to myself? Does that mean going to the casino or to the bar, or getting some of those drugs, and eating those donuts, whatever, Is that being good to myself? Is that really being good to myself? How about you know, you know, getting, just dealing with other people? I mean, it's like, is being kind to other people, giving them a bunch of money, if they're crying, begging, it's like, is that being kind?
Mm.
If we keep on asking questions, challenging what we believe, right? We can find a better truth for ourselves, constantly challenging our beliefs, challenging the way we view ourselves, right? I mean, it can lead to a better direction, if we can go and challenge ourselves. What are our current self beliefs? Is it good or bad for us? And I think it can go and take us to a better place.
Yeah. Well, we know that I'm looking up something here. We know that it is part of the human evolutionary need. Um, I got something that I want to play here in just a moment, if I can. Uh, it is the human evolutionary need. So we're constantly looking. I believe this is my philosophy. I believe that we're constantly looking for challenges. We may not be aware of the challenge. We may not be aware of what's going on, because we're hardwired that way to seek growth, to seek confidence, to seek better, right? We don't want to seek depression. We don't want to seek suicide. We don't want to seek lethargy, procrastination. We don't want to seek that, but yet we fall into that trap. We want better. We want a better health. We want to excel, but only those things will come about through challenges.
we have to challenge our comfort zone too, right? Because that's where the
Exactly.
body wants to go. Body likes likes to default to that safe place, right? But what then you challenge yourself. Well, what is this safe place? It's nothing. It's boring. It's like it's regret. It's like not doing anything with my life. It's yeah, I can be in my room all day, not interact with people. I'll be safe. I won't be made fun of, right? But is is
Yeah.
is that is that a good life? Challenge
Yeah.
your way of thinking. It's like, is there something more? Is there something better? It's like when you combine challenges, I think, with a an imagination, right? That's directed in a positive, the most positive way you can see yourself. I think you can make something good happen, right?
You, yeah. Yeah, you can. I have a question here. By the way, I really appreciate your questions. I really, I honor your question. So sometimes we get in conversation and we don't focus enough on these questions. So I want to apologize to you if if you've ever felt that way. But I really want to do is focus on your questions. And again, if you can't ask the question here, be sure to send it to me via email right down below. See where it says grow, grow through this link. Laura says, I'm having a hard time with clutter and being a pack rat. You know what I would do with this? I would write this in my journal and I would look at it and then I would break it down as a challenge. I'd break it down as a challenge and say, okay, I'm having a hard time with clutter and being pack rat. What's the opposite of that? What's the opposite of that? It's so hard for me to throw anything away. You know, we become things become sentimental. Junk becomes sentimental to us. Do we really need when we go? I heard this said many times. The hearse doesn't follow um, a U-Haul truck. A U-Haul truck does not follow the hearse. There's some things that we need to have with us. We should keep. But there's many things that if we look at, we've held on. It's been in storage. We've had that thing for 20 years. Man, we got to let go of stuff. And again, it's the challenge of the mindset, looking at something from a different perspective, right? Again, if you write this down in your journal, I'm having a hard time with clutter and being a pack rat. You write that down in a journal. When you look at it, you can you can keep reading it, right? Eventually, something's going to trigger. You might get a thought, you might get a solution, or you might get disgusted and say, you know what, screw this, and you throw it down. I'm not going to do this anymore, man. This journaling is bullshit. You gotta you have to determine where you want to go. You talked about direction in life, Jim, a little bit ago, right? Course of direction and what we're doing, character building. But this is fun, right? You got to look at it as fun, Laura. My apartment is a mess. All right. Well, that's an easy one, man. Uh, all you got to do is watch a couple videos, get motivated, and maybe drink a Red Bull or two and clean up the place, right? It's not difficult. We make it difficult. Or what happens is we let a lot of other stuff pile up. We should have got taken care of it. Okay, we had time. We had 2 hours to do it this day. We didn't. What happened? The FTs came in, the focus thieves, and they throw you off balance. Next, you know, now you've got so much piled up on top of so much that, man, I don't know where to begin. Well, you got to start with one thing. Maybe go back to the foundation, right, of where you started. My apartment is a mess. Let me start cleaning this up instead of just sitting and thinking, man, I got this, I got to do it, I got the other thing, man, I got to take the stuff to the dumps, I got to do the backyard. Boom. If in doubt, write it out. That's the way I look at it. If in doubt, write it out. And I might have forgotten to say this, but gambling is a lie. It's a big, fat lie. It's tall, it's ugly, it's hiding sometimes, but it's a lie. So hopefully we've answered. Jim, how do you see this?
Yeah, I mean, like,
Got another
start
question.
having. Yeah, you're right. Start writing things down and start analyzing your thoughts. Start analyzing your feelings. Right? Why do I feel? Why do I have this feeling or this need to keep all this stuff? What happens if I throw it away? What kind of feeling, you know, comes over me if I were to throw this away? Am I
Mhm.
afraid? Am I afraid of losing something? You know, what's the worst thing that would happen? What if I was organized? Why I think you really need to find out why you want to do something. And it has to be something personal too. Because,
Mhm.
for me, I realize it's a waste of time trying to do something because other people, you know, do it and they say it's good. Oh, you need to be organized, only successful people, are organized. It's like, okay, you know, I have to internalize it for myself and find out, for myself that the real value in doing certain things. Because I mean, it's like, I've been down that path. I can organize everything, but guess what? In a month, 2 months, everything's a mess again. Why?
Mhm.
Why is it a mess? Something's going on. So we can challenge our thoughts and our emotions, say, what's going on here? You know, what do I really want? What do I
Mhm.
really want? Maybe
Yeah.
I want safety, security. I
What
mean,
do I really want? Mhm.
you know, so yeah, you're right, Santos. It's very important to write these things down, and start analyzing,
Yeah.
our feelings and thoughts, because then you can probably kind of work things out, in the best way for you, not for other people, but for you. You know, I mean, maybe your emphasis is not keeping a tidy place. Maybe that's just your nature. You know, does that mean
Mhm.
that you're a bad person if you have a messy room? You know,
Organized chaos.
yeah. I mean, it's like I think a lot of people put themselves down, and feel badly because they don't live up to other people's expectations or what society has to say. Oh, you're a slob. You know, you think you're gonna get anywhere in life? Having that kind of room. What's
Yeah.
wrong with you? And
Yeah.
then you start internalizing that. It's like, oh man, I must be a worthless human being. I'm a loser. You know,
Yeah.
and you start, and it's like, should I accept this kind of nonsense? And it's going to be up
Internal.
to you. I would encourage everyone to say, you know what, I'm going to look at myself in the best way possible. I'm going to find you know
Mhm.
things in my life that make me be the best person I can be, regardless of my habits, whatever. I mean, yeah, we all make mistakes, right? We all, have some failings, so-called failings, but it's important to accept who we are, the good and the bad, right? The
Yeah.
good and the bad,
And work through both of them.
right?
Work through the good and work through the bad.
Right.
Have a what they call the yin yang, right? Because there's negative. Imagine people don't want to be. Unfortunately, like a car battery. A car battery has to have negative in order to work. This world has to have negativity. We need negativity. There's negative things in our body to balance out the positives. How does that work? I don't know completely, but we know that there's negative in our bodies and there's positive. In fact, we're even electrical to a certain degree. We're coming down to the end of the program here. I got a call to action coming pretty soon. But here's another question: how do we fully forgive ourselves for our gambling mistakes? That really depends on what it is that the mistake that you're focused on. Because forgiving yourself could be difficult. It can be. But it really depends on what the mistake is. I mean, if it's a mistake that's been with you for a long time, well, that's a little bit of a challenge. If it's something that you really recently did, I would believe that's a little bit easier to get rid of. And simply talking to yourself, as easy as that may look, it's not easy. It's doable. And it may be a little hard. It may be a little difficult. That's the reason why we need support. That's the reason why this program is available. That's the reason why I offer coaching. That's the reason why I offer my books. These little books, I don't recommend you to read them. I recommend you to study them, cross out the text, put your own stuff in there. And Your good life is going to come out of a good series of good, constant, positive reminders. I'm going to remind you of that. Every time that you come to this program, I'm going to remind you of that. I'm also going to remind you that gambling's a lie. So if you need that reminder, come here every Sunday. It's going to do you some good. It's a challenge, right? That is the challenge. Coming here every Sunday and being here for 45 minutes and enduring the torture that I put you through is a challenge. I know Jim probably walks away and says, man, I'm glad I got over that episode. No, I'm only kidding, Jim. I appreciate you. Coach Jim. By the way, Coach Jim, never know. He might open up his office and start offering coaching services at a cost because it's not free. You know, I've looked at my life and I say this, I don't say this, I say this proud, but I say it to hopefully inspire you to do something really big for yourself, whoever you are on the other side. Um, I've spent money. In fact, I was looking over my a journal of sort. I had recently spent $4,000, $4,400 on a coaching program that helped me get a few things together. $4,400, and I learned quite a bit of going through that program. Now, I probably should have waited a little bit longer, maybe. Um, who knows? Maybe I could have got that coaching program for a little bit less. But $4,400, that's one coaching program that helped me though. I've paid, 2,500 over here or 300 over here for coaching services. And because I realized that, you know what, I can have money sitting in the bank, right? You can put money in the bank, which that's okay to have. But I like what Robert Kiyosaki says, take your money and invest. Use your money to make more money. So if you can use your money as a tool and say I paid somebody coaching, right? And from that coaching 3 months or 6 months later, it doubled my income or tripled my income. Was that $4,000 worth it? If now I'm making an extra 4,000 or 5,000 or 6,000 a month. Yeah, it took me a month or two to kind of build this thing. Patience is key. Patience is key. So I offer these things to you on the other side. And I realize that the things that I've paid for, I value more. The things that I've paid for, I value more. Stuff that I've gotten free, it comes and goes. Kind of comes and goes. It really doesn't challenge me. When I pay for something, oh, you bet it challenges me. I'm going to get my money's worth. So that's why I offer coaching and these services to help you on the other side because you never know. And again, maybe nobody in this program here, this community needs coaching. Maybe you don't need coaching, but there's somebody there on Facebook, there's somebody there on LinkedIn that sees this broadcast that will need it. You might be a president of a company, you might be the CEO of your company struggling with some kind of an addiction due to trauma, gambling, right? Which results in gambling. I'm here for you. You're not alone. All right, my friends, I've got a call to action. We got to go. We've been through an hour here, man. I appreciate all of you guys. Laura, Stephen, thank you for your input. Instead of taking in the third person, why don't use take calls and real questions and try and really help people? What says it? See instead of talking in the third person. Maybe it's an observation. Why don't you use take calls and real questions? I thought that this was kind of a real program. I try to be a little entertainment as much as possible, a little bit, but it is a serious program. And I will take phone calls and I will take emails. But one thing that I won't do is I won't waste my time with folks because I've wasted my time with many people and they're no longer a part of my circle of influence. There's a lot of people out there that want to keep gambling. They want to destroy their lives. They want to go down the wrong path altogether. And then they want to come and cry to me. I've had it done in the past. I just don't allow that. I don't allow that. If you want support, if you want to change, if you want to transform, this is the place to do it. At least you can get a good start here. Well, Santos, that's life, man. Life is going to hit you in the face. Gambling is going to bust your teeth. Gambling is going to break your legs. It's going to take your bank account. If I came to your house and I said, you know what, give me your bank card and I went into your pocket to reach for your wallet. You're not going to just let the soldier do that. You're going to fight me, to the ground. But yet, so easily the casino will do it.
Santos, to address Steven's question, I think we addressed the idea of everyone knows what to do, right? You need to eat healthy, exercise. You know, you know, everyone knows that, right? But the problem is that it's very difficult to do, right? Especially when we're talking about addictive behaviors, problem gambling, right? There's they say you can just say, oh yeah, get off gambling, stop going to the casino. It's really not that easy because there's a lot of stuff that's in people's lives. And I think the the thing about this program is it shares tools, it shares perspectives, it shares ideas on how to see things so that you can go ahead and really gain the confidence and attack this problem that a lot of
Hmm.
people are facing. It's like
Yeah.
one thing might not work for everyone, okay? But the important thing is to share these ideas so that you might want to try it. I mean, the topic today is challenge. What does challenge mean, right? You know, challenges for us, to get to a place that's better. Don't we want to be out of gambling? Don't we want to get out of our addictive behavior? Don't we want to see ourselves in a better light, right? There's a lot of good on the other side of that challenge. A lot of good, So, I mean, you can
But
go and say that your show is about inspiration, right? Inspiration. You got to go ahead and give people hope. And how do we get that hope? Seeing things that we haven't seen, you know, from different perspectives, new ideas, little ideas, something, you know.
yeah, that's good, Jim. And another thing, we are coming down to the end of the wire here. Another thing is, man, it's expensive. Believe me. Listen, I've spent probably over $12,000 on a website. That's no lie. That's truth. 300 here, 400 here, 500 here, 1,000 over here. Over time, it adds up. Um, I do my best to make my website a place for problem gamblers and people that have trauma to come there and get solution. Time, engineering, editing, graphics, it's a big challenge. All right, I've taken on this challenge and I'm doing it. I didn't think I could, but now today I believe I can. You can come on the camera. Listen, I open up this, I can have several guests, probably up to 10 guests on camera, I think, either 10 or 6. You can come on here, you can disguise your avatar if you want to communicate with me one on one or with Jim. You're welcome to do that. We don't have to have a phone. It's really expensive to do phone calls. The 1-800 number, believe me, I've looked into that. I've even tried to attach something like that to my website where people can actually call me, but I can't do it for free on the website because it costs a lot of money to do that. So I was trying to set up a system where people can pay a little bit. They can use a credit card. They can reach out to me if they're in desperate need. If you know what, if you're bleeding all over the place and you need a doctor, right? If you're bleeding all over the place due to gambling, you need a doctor. Why not get a hold of me? I specialize in that. I can definitely help you. I know for a fact I can help you on the other side. Doesn't matter who you are, as long as you're hungry and you want to help, you reach out. I know that I can help support you. I don't like the words help too much, but I can support you. And that's what it's about, friends. It's about the challenge. I challenge you to come on the camera. You want to overcome your gambling, your card playing, your roulette, the pop, the bets, the slots, the bots, whatever. Come on the camera and challenge yourself. We're a community here. I'm not going to judge you. I may be far ahead of you in this aspect of gambling, but I'm not here to judge. I'm here to, pull you up to where I'm at. But if you don't accept the challenge, Like most people are looking for free stuff. I hate to say it, but most people are. They're looking for free stuff. Free stuff doesn't give you any value. Pay something or put time, put time into it, sweat equity. And therein you're going to get a result. I'm going to give Jim a minute here. We're getting ready to end, but here's my challenge to you on the other side. My call to my CTA, my call to challenge, a call to action. All right. The meaning of a challenge, according to me, okay, this is my meaning, my philosophy. You don't have to accept it. I'm just sharing it with you. A challenge is a spiritual gift in disguise to help you learn, grow, and take action. So accept accept your challenge, whatever it might be, one challenge over the next 7 days and accomplish it. That's my call to action. We're going to be back here at 7 p.m., Lord willing, next Sunday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be sharing through Facebook, possibly Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And again, I invite you to come on the camera, come on the camera, and meet up with myself, Coach Jim, and we can do our best to help you find a solution. And let me tell you something. Where else can you go today and get the attention of two business owners that are building something, that are going somewhere in life, that are helping, supporting others? Where else can you get an hour of their attention? I guarantee you, you're not going to find this anywhere else. It's hard to get business owners or a coach or a mentor for free. It's hard. It's almost impossible. They won't do it. And I've taken the risk to do this through this program. So once again, no apologies. I'm here for you. I'm here to support you. Please support me in however way you can do it. If you can do it financially. I got a $5 donation from somebody. I was ecstatic, man. $5. Thank you. Whatever you can do. Buy a book. And as I mentioned, I'm going to say this. I'm going to keep promoting it. If you need a coach, if you need a mentor, the minimum that I will do is 2 months. It's usually a 3-month commitment or I won't do it. Minimum is 2 months. I'm here for you, wherever you might be. So with that said, thank you, Jim. I appreciate you. I'll give you here a minute or two. Last words.
Yeah, I just want to end it with saying, just challenge yourself to see yourself in a better way, right? Journal, right? Ask yourself, challenge yourself, what does better look like to me? Really ask yourself, what does better look like for me? Use your imagination, in the best way possible. Imagine what your life would look like that you would be proud of, right? Challenge yourself, write that stuff down, contact Coach Santos, let him help you, develop a plan, right? Saves you time to go ahead and take your vision and your imagination, you know, and create that better you, you know. So, I challenge you to go ahead and start making your life better, you know.
Exactly. Thank you, Jim. And shout out to Tucson there, Coach Jim. Uomoto Motorbikes. Hey, if you're looking for a motorbike, a bicycle, instead of if you can commute in town and you wear a helmet, this is the man right here that you want to talk to about those kinds of things. All right. Motorized bicycles. Jim, what's your website?
It's gorillagasbike.com. That's probably easy. Gorillagasbike.com. You can
Like a
also find
gorilla.
us at umotobikes.com.
Yeah.
Right.
By the way, they're cool bikes. I think they're awesome. So, if you need one or they make a good gift, you know where to get one. The last but not least, I do want to answer this question, Keith, for you before I go off, getting ready to go off the airwaves here. My challenge is telling my family. Keith, do you have to tell your family? Is that a must? Is that a must in your life? You may be able to wait, right? Actions speak louder than words. Sometimes we need to let our actions speak for us. Sometimes when we speak about things, we mess it up, right? We get ahead of the thing, like putting the horses ahead of the cart. So you got to ask yourself, is it a must that you must tell your family this? Is it a must? If it's a must, then you're gonna. What I would do is, if in doubt, write it out and read it to them. If it's a must. If it's not a must, challenge yourself to overcome. Let your actions speak louder than your words. I'll see you guys on my next broadcast. Excited, challenged, and ready to be here. Hopefully, Coach Jim will be with us on another episode. Um, Call to action. What's the call to action, Santos? The call to action is to grab a challenge over the next 7 days. Find something that challenges you and attack that thing over the next 7 days. One thing, 7 days. I'm on it. If you're on my TikTok, you can see my videos. I'm posting every single day for the next few days, and they're just 15-second videos, encouraging people to stay on the challenge that you've chosen. 7-day challenge. That's what it is. All right. Program's over. I look forward to seeing all you guys and plus others on this broadcast. Race, Laura, Keith, Soldiers of Self Mastery, Stephen. Hopefully, we're helping you. Come on the camera, man. Face that challenge. You can talk to me personally. Laura, we got her twice. Stephen, well, we've had quite a few people, and we've had a good audience. Rock from the Bottom, Auto Magic. It's the Car. Thank you for being here. I appreciate all of you guys. All you guys, wonderful people. But you need to be challenged. Till my next one. See you, Jim.
Thanks, Santos. Have a great week.